Okay, I'm back. Anyone else back?
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to grab some cookies. Um, is Max and Tanza back? No. So it's Dane, Paula, and Vicky. Right on. Yeah, I don't mean to railroad you guys, but there's like the module, the story that's written, right? And that's what I've prepared for. So.
No, I understand.
So I'm not trying to be too, it's hard to be flexible when you got someone else's storyline kind of going. Yeah. So Max is back. Do we have Tanza?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay, so everyone's back? Okay, what did you all decide?
We're going to find a place and, I guess, sell our antiques.
Who wants to take the lead on that and roll? Who's got good, what would you call it? Bargaining?
Got, I think, good persuasion.
Yeah, so we'll be like passion and empathy probably, or reason and empathy. Empathy is going to be the key one here. So
yeah. And when I'm deceiving or charming, I get to re-roll failed dice.
That's great. Well, let's have Zax do it. I don't mean to chew in your ear. I'm sorry. So, who wants to sell their stuff? What stuff are we going to sell?
I'm going to sell some of the jewels that we picked up earlier.
Okay. Any of the weapons or any of the harness?
I'm going to sell the short sword.
No, I'm not going to sell any weapons. After all, Jasoomian without weapons is like practically naked.
Okay, so you're going to sell all the gems that you have, Tanza, hey? And Zax is going to sell the short sword. Right? Anybody else?
Yeah.
You need money to buy food and buy lodgings and have a bath and whatnot. Everything costs money in Zodanga.
So let's see. Should I roll to see how well I'm able to?
Well, I was going to have Zax do it. Have one person roll for the group if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. You can help, though. The main.
I'll give you. I'll offer you one. A momentum. I'll give you one momentum.
Okay. DC of 2 because you're selling kind of odd things, antique stuff, and gems that are worth quite a lot of money.
Okay, and we said this was what?
Empathy, and I would think maybe reason. If you're going to go up to a merchant and you find I mean, you tell me what you want to do. Who do you want to go up to? How do you want to approach it? Okay. Are you just going to sell the gems at
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I'm assuming that Tanza, you're giving me the gems, so I've got kind of it all together.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of wander around the central market, and I'm looking for someone that is either has like higher end jewelry, or kind of crusted weapons, ornate dinnerware, someone that looks like they're building higher end pieces, assuming that they could use these as source for theirs, if they didn't like the settings or whatnot.
Okay, so roll reason and empathy to see if you find such a shop.
Okay, reason and empathy to find such a shop.
Yeah, DC 1.
Okay. Nope.
You find the local head shop. You find a pawnbroker. Kind of dicey with him. Very fat, overweight guy, hairy guy. His very fat, overweight wife. Pawn shop, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. A Jasoomian pawn shop, head shop.
Okay. Okay. So I guess I go in and I say I've got some goods that I want to sell, but I'm but I'm you need to have reasonable coin do you deal in jewels?
Yeah, show us what you got.
Okay.
Here,
I reach
come on
in.
over here. We got some guys got some stuff he wants to sell us.
Yeah.
She comes over, the wife comes over, looks you up and down. Never seen you before. What you got? Show us what you got.
Okay. I don't
know
I
you.
don't,
You look
I don't
kind
pull
of
it all
skinny.
out of the bag. I'm just gonna, grab a couple of the loose jewels. And I said, here's a couple of sample pieces.
Patterson, that sounds
Interesting.
nothing like Texas. Trust me.
No, not that accent. It was anyway. Later.
The lady, she picks up the gems. She grabs a little monocle kind of device and she holds them up to the light and is looking through them. She looks at Zax. Where'd you get these from, sweetie?
Yeah, that's none of your business. You're either willing to deal or you're not.
Well, I hope these aren't stolen. They seem a little bit of fancy coming from someone like you. How much you want for them?
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to help me with currency here. What's 100 gold pieces.
Yeah,
And
let's go with the 100 gold.
100 gold pieces. Are you in some kind of trouble, honey? Do you even have a clue what this is worth? She turns to her husband. She goes, look at this, hobby. And he takes a look and he goes, are you in some kind of trouble, son?
I just have, I can't spend these, and I'm looking to have a good night on the town and, take care of my expenses. So, I just, I got to turn it into cash, man.
Okay, roll to see if you persuaded them, please.
Okay.
Empathy, passion.
Empathy.
Oh my god. I just got a text from Norm, you guys. He said, I'm sorry, Vic. I'm just getting out of the hospital. Rushed there early this morning.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah.
He hasn't said.
Yikes.
Oh, poor Norm.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did he say?
I'll text him and ask him. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. I've missed him tonight as well. That very distinctive voice.
Lord have mercy.
He's got a good sense of humor too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the DC on this one?
Well, they're already shady. They're a little suspicious of you. Let's just do 2.
Do it too. Okay. And Tanza, you said that you're gonna give him momentum.
Yeah, I'll give you some extra angst.
Okay, so make sure you take your momentum off your pile. If you haven't already. And so how many dice are you gonna roll then?
So my empathy is shitty, so I'm gonna roll extra on my side as well. So I'm gonna roll a full 5 dice to hit that too.
Okay.
Oops. No, I just put luck out as opposed to momentum. Sorry, wrong one.
It's okay.
Oh, cool! That actually worked. I put it out and then you took it. Good. Woohoo!
I don't know if you can give me my luck back, but I wasn't planning on using luck.
Okay.
I didn't take any luck.
No, I'll see if I can do that. I'm just trying to get rid of all of these momentums off the board here. Where is the luck?
A leprechaun stole it.
Where is the luck?
Leprechaun just came onto Barsoom and stole the luck.
And you need one, right, Dane?
Yeah, I got it. I can draw it now.
Okay.
Patterson, you were supposed to wrangle the leprechauns. That's your job.
Okay.
So you got 3 successes. So that's great. You've generated 1 momentum back. Did you actually use luck, or you didn't use luck? Did you?
I did not. No, I
Okay.
just used 3
Okay. So
momentum.
you're great. So you two difficulties done, and you generated a momentum for your pool. So make sure you take that. And the husband, the wife goes, give him the 100 gold. That's fine. We can make a profit off of this, sweet cheeks. And Harvey grabs the money and the coins in Zodanga currency, piles them up in front of you in specific piles of 20. Don't spend it in the wrong place, boy. Don't gamble it all away. You go down to the red light district, it won't last very long. You take that home to mama, you hear, boy?
Yeah, I just kind of nod my head, take the coin and leave. GM question. Because I get the ability to re-roll failed, does that count in terms of accruing momentum? Should I re-roll those 3 that I failed to see if I can get more momentum back? You may re-roll any failed die in an attempt to deceive, charm, or seduce another.
Sure. So how many do you want to re-roll?
Well,
You're gonna
I
keep
failed
the 1.
3. So I had 2 successes and 3 failures. So can I re-roll the 3 to see, and that would just add to the momentum if...
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, now you have a complication.
Okay.
Now I have to retcon what's going back. Let's see. What's the complication going to be?
Maybe they realize that one of them's a fake as we're heading out the door.
Okay, instead what they're going to offer you was the complication. Yeah, we'll buy them. But we're only going to give you 50 gold. And good luck trying to unload this type of merchandise here without raising eyebrows. So you can take it or leave it. But yeah, we'll buy it. We'll buy it for 50 gold for half price. Because you rolled a 20, and that's a complication.
Okay, I'll leave it. I'll take the jewels and walk out.
Okay. Sometimes it pays not to re-roll because you do jeopardize by picking up a complication.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just like a gambling, right? Once you get ahead, don't push your luck.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come out of the store, you go back to your colleagues, and you explain to them what happened.
Yeah.
And so you guys still don't have any cash to buy a place to stay.
I say to Pamela, your Arth was very appreciative of the headset. Do you think that he would purchase the jewels at a fair price? He seemed interested in wanting to see you again as well.
He gets to see me again, of course. But
let's pimp out Pamela.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be crass, but whose hooker name is Zandala, whatever your hooker name is.
Yeah.
Well, it's terrible as I'm a feminist to say that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pimp out the. Anyway.
Well, he's a godfather. He's got the means and the money. He's got the matching pieces, so there's some extra value there. I think we're going to get a better deal with him than the shady pawnbrokers that I was only barely trusting to begin with. Your call. I'm okay, going back to the sewers and sleeping there.
I don't want to push her luck, but we could try.
Pamela, don't forget what I said to you in the car last time.
Yep.
2. Okay, so you want to head
Huh?
over... Sorry?
Actually, yeah, I'll say, why don't we just go to the embassy?
Either that, or you could let me have a go at cracking a few skulls in one of those fighting pits.
Where is it again?
Huh, I'd like to see that. I like to see the muscles work.
Okay, you guys want to go to a fight pit?
Yeah, why not? If we can do it as kind of a micro, not go into it too heavily, just some dice rolls. What do you think?
But don't we have to have cash to gamble?
That's a good point. So, let's say you guys go to a fight pit, and there are several, and you ask directions, and you find one that's sort of reputable. There's ones for melee weapons, like swords, and there is an unarmed one using... I keep wanting to say Vulcan martial arts, but we're not in the Star Trek universe, are we?
It still makes sense. I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so you're directed to an unarmed fight pit, mano a mano, and as you go there, and there's hawkers outside going, come see the show, come blah blah. The city champions of the West are going to fight this, and blah, 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 and we have open draw card, blah, blah, blah. And they're yelling to get people to come and pay the admission and pay the bookies, and who wants to approach a bookie to see if they will accept a wager of a gem or the ornate?
Kanza, tell them that I'm your slave and that you wager I can beat any of their fighters.
I grab a piece. I grab a piece of your harness, put it around your neck, and attach a chain to it, and I pull it over. This mighty slave of mine could easily beat one of your men.
Ho, 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 little girl, says the fat man that runs the fight pit. That sounds like a challenge. And he comes down from his office, kind of like a balcony that he oversees everything. Walks around you, Tanza, and Patterson kind of pokes. He's kind of a scrawny little fella, isn't he? And some of the crowd around her and the regulars are laughing because there's chairs there. They're being served, their version of beer and light snacks. And there's a pit, an octagon pit in the middle of this building that you're now in. And
you know what they say about the size of things.
And he looks at Patterson's hand and goes, small hands, small feet, small everything. My goodness, girl, you have the size of large eggs about you. Fine. You can. Let's roll them in the walk-ins. You can go first up on the card. And warm up the crowd. Put on a good show. And he kind of punches lightly Patterson in the shoulder. Put on a show, boy. If you win, we'll double your prize since you're just a walk-in.
I'll sort of bow low to Tanza and whisper kind of, the wager, so she remembers to put some good money on me.
Yeah, and he says to you that for walk-ins off the street, for just like an open mic night or open fight night, that the winner gets a gold, the loser gets 5 silver pieces. Because you guys are amateur night, right? You're amateurs. Whereas the city champions, who are more well-known, their pot's bigger, but they're they're higher up on the card than you guys would be.
Yeah.
There's also, again, some of the cashier type guys that are taking bets from the crowd. Did anyone want to approach them?
Sure. I'll pull again, just not all of it, just one good jewel, about 20 gold worth, and walk over and.
It's going to be pretty tiny. 20 gold. These jewels, these gems, don't forget, were on the person of a princess. They are big. So you're walking in there with like the crown jewels, right? Into like a dingy. This is what I'm saying, right? Like this is why your rolls really mattered about where you're selling these to. You're only being offered 100 gold because it was a pawn shop, a low end that wanted to take advantage of you and make a buck off you, right? So these gems are like they're worth a lot. So don't sell your short with 20 gold. That's not that would it's they're worth much more. They're gems of a princess.
No, I get that. Trying to figure out kind of size and scope. So I was thinking of a small one to even see if they would take it. Yeah, and then we could look at a larger ones if they're even accepting it in lieu of cash. I didn't want to kind of like blow the wad.
Yeah, but even your smallest one is going to be worth a lot. Like it's going to be like a high roller bet.
Okay.
Okay, even your smallest gem. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I'll take my smallest gem, which would be worth what, 100 gold?
Way more than that.
Way more than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We're talking like at least 1,000 gold. Even your smallest one.
Even my smallest.
Yeah, I mean these are gems from a princess's body. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it, but
Yep. Do you want to go ahead and roll persuasion to the bookie to see if he'll accept it and what rate he'll accept it at?
Sure, I'll do that.
Or do you want to give it to someone else to roll for you? No offense.
Well, I succeeded. I just re-rolled when I didn't have to. So lesson learned, right?
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, well, and so as you showed the gem, though, to the cashier, he says, listen, I can't authorize this. That's weird. I'm going to call the manager over. So he calls the fat man manager over, and he's looking at the gem and holding it up, and he goes, he's looking at it. So go ahead and roll, see if you can convince the manager to accept it as a bet.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm going to roll 3. So use a momentum.
Okay. Good luck. Huzzah! Great. So I was just putting difficulty at 1 because this is a betting thing, and they see a lot of weird stuff coming in with these compulsive gamblers. So you've generated 2 momentum, right? So you succeed, and he gives you a fair offering. He says he'll value it at 800 gold, and allow you to put a bet of 800 on whoever you would like. And so there's kind of like the fight card's up, right? And someone's written in Patterson's or whatever, Tanz's slave or whoever against Jar. A fellow named Jar.
I can't take both momentum, so I'm going to give 1 to Patterson.
Fantastic.
I'll also give Patterson a.
Patterson
momentum.
can only have a momentum pool of 4. He's at 3 right now, so if he takes Zaxxas, he's going to be at his max.
Okay. I'll save it for his next round.
There you go.
Well, you can.
Okay, so we're going to adjust Patterson's. I'm going to deal you 1, Patterson.
You don't want me to. Okay, go on.
And then, Zax, you can just dish 1 off into the garbage there, and I'll delete it from the screen. Make sure we balance everything out.
I just didn't draw my 2. I just drew 1, so if you give him 1, then he's good.
Okay, then you're all good. Great. Okay. Pamela, are you doing anything while all this is going on?
No, I'm just going to sit and watch.
Watch the show. Tanza, are you giving Patterson any pep talks?
What?
You
cut out.
Are you giving Patterson any pep talks?
Yep. Basically, trying to give him some encouragement and tell him, it's sort of a hint, fight for me.
Okay. And Chad's gonna go up to Zax and say, you know what, Zax, like no offense, but we've seen the Jasoomian guy fight. Maybe you should not spend all that money on him. Maybe you should hedge your bets so we win one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of whispers so Tanza and Patterson don't hear you. You know what I'm saying? Gives you a wink, a nudge. To Zax. So Zax, how much you got? 800 gold. What do you want to bet on who?
I was gonna put it all on our boy Patterson.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the idea though. Bet on some of you bet on the other guys so that we make money either way.
You know, it's kind of like watching Survivor when you're playing when someone has the immunity idol, right? You spread the votes around. But hey, if Zax is going to put it all on Patterson, hey, that's good.
I gave him the momentum. He just has to, live up to, his billing as, a Jasoomian.
Do you use your leadership at all on Patterson, Zax, to kind of don't fuck this up type thing?
Yeah, sure. So, I take him aside, and with my extensive brawling experience from being an airship captain, constantly in turmoil, I show him a couple of surefire, dirty moves that'll take anybody down with a little bit of little bit of muscle behind it.
So
Okay.
you just grab his light vest and.
Yeah, it acts like a lever, man. Just grab and pull.
Okay. Well, the announcer comes into the octagon. It's time to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a mixed crowd in the bleachers watching us. Welcome to Zodanga's finest fight pits, where it's all muscle against muscle, and we have some new flesh in town, some names we haven't seen before, and some old ones that you know their strength and skill. So it should be an interesting night. We're going to open up with our walk-ins. First on up in the pits is... What did you guys tell the owner of this slave's name was anyway? Did you go with Patterson or did you go with something else?
No,
the Bloody Brood.
The blood. Oh, the. I don't even think they know what brood is. I guess you translated it to Jasoomian then.
Yeah.
All right, in this corner, wearing the really dirty harness, is the Bloody Brood. And in the far corner, from the half orcs. No, I'm just kidding. From the northern quadrant. Well-known boy, Jar, first coming up from his first fight after the ritual of manhood, young and strong bullocks, and here he is, a really big, muscular, thick, red Martian young male, and he's going to the crowd, and he's pumping his muscles, and he's playing it up, and he's blowing kisses to the ladies in the audience. And then you guys have a kind of referee fella pull you into the center of the ring. No dirty shots, no low blows, blah, blah, blah. When I say break, break. You both are kind of standing, staring each other down. Patterson with Jar, whatever his name is. Did you want to do any trash talk?
I shall place my thumb on my nose and wiggle my fingers thusly.
Okay, great. Let's roll that. That's
Panda makes a confused look because she's never seen such a gesture.
So let's see if that kind of shakes your opponent out of his comfort zone, because that's really weird.
Oh, really? Okay. So what am I rolling on?
Passion, empathy, maybe.
Okay.
Messing with his head. Say a DC of 2 because it's a unknown Jasoomian gesture. That's for sure.
Yep.
He just thinks you're weird. He thinks you're nuts. He makes a gesture to the crowd like you're a loco.
Yeah.
I can crush you, little man. Crush you like bug. Okay, so, I mean, I don't think we want to do a full-on combat thing because we don't really have the time. So we're just going to do a simple opposed test. Is that okay with you, Patterson, or how did you want?
That's fine. What I am going to use is Mighty Foos. So it's when wielding a muscle-powered weapon, including your fists, spend 1 momentum to re-roll any combat dice that inflict no damage. So if that happens, I'm going to use a momentum.
How should we do this then? Because I don't want to take away your ability, because that's awesome to actually try out in this playtest. Well, maybe we could go ahead and just do a quick combat then. I'm going to use the stats that we started with a Red Martian Gladiator then, if you want to do that. Just don't know how long this is going to take. What's your stress levels right now anyway?
Or, if you like, just so we don't take too long for the others, you could just give me a difficulty level and I could just use all 4 momentum and go for it.
Well, I kind of want him to oppose you too, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll use his stats. Okay, let's do an opposition test then. You're going to use your might and what else? You're going to do a full-on unarmed strike.
Yeah. So I use Mighty Foos, which basically just means that each time I don't do damage, I can reroll. I think is the way I've read it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering as far as stress. So this guy has a stress level of 11 and a threat level of 2. But that's going to take a long while. So let's say 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And whoever does the most damage wins.
Sounds great.
Okay. And let's just roll 1d20, both you and I, and we'll see who goes first as far as initiative. Roll. And we're going to say in this system, 1s are the best, so you can go first, Patterson, and do your first strike. And please describe to us. Let's use some language, like if you're going to kick, if you're going to try to just run and throw them on the ground, or whatever you're going to do.
I'm going to sort of bounce like a kind of, almost like as if I was just bouncing sideways to do a slam dunk in basketball. And then I'm going to come down and do a Captain Kirk with both hands locked on his back.
Nice. I like that. Move.
Cool. And then he's going to go ahead and roll. Was it cunning? No, so you're going to do cunning and might? Is that it? Or what did you want to do?
I mean...
Because with attacking, you have to use cunning, okay?
Yeah, you do. So
what's your other one?
It's the same either way. So might and cunning is fine, if that makes sense.
Yep, for sure. And then he's going to do daring to avoid and... I guess maybe might too, to see if he can withstand it. Okay.
So I'll spend 1 momentum, puts the dice pool up, and then I'll do that. I'll roll that.
Okay. And 2 successes. Great. And let's see. So he's going to roll. He's got a target of 10 to see if he can outdance you. 1 success. Okay. So you get to roll damage on him. So you've got 1 success more than he does, so that generates a momentum. And you also get to add 2 combat dice, because it's an unarmed attack. So the unarmed attack is, again, D6s, so roll 2 D6s.
But if any of those don't do damage, I'll spend the momentum under the edge to redo them.
Okay, you needed to have spend. Oh, sorry, you're going to spend the momentum to re-roll. Is that your talent again?
So what's the... How much do I need to damage there?
Okay, well, you've generated from this 3 damage, like stress points.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you wanted to add more damage dice, you needed to declare that before you roll and spent the momentum to buy more damage dice. I'm not sure if that's what you meant or not.
No, because it's if that wasn't enough to get say past his armor or whatever, but that works as well. So I'll spend the momentum and I'll redo that if I know that's fudging it a bit. Are you okay with that?
How many more combat dice are you going to buy?
Or I just roll one more, so I'll just.
Okay,
yeah,
and the 3 is 0. So again, if you look on your handouts for how combat dice work, 1 and 2 are their face value. 3 and 4 are nothing. 5 and 6 are 1 point of damage plus an effect.
Okay, so with the one that's nothing, with the edge, if I spend yet another momentum, using Mighty Foos, I can re-roll that again.
Okay. And now you have 1 more point of damage.
That's 4 in total, yeah.
Yep. And now it's his turn. So he's gonna kind of try and shake off the effects of being hit so hard, and he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna try and do a kick, a knee to. He's gonna kind of come at you and jump at you and try and kick you in the face.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm going to spend, because it's fun, I'm going to spend 2 points of threat to bring his dice pool up to 4. And then we're going to see. So he's going to use Cunning and Might and try and kick you in the face. What did he get? 2 successes, so he makes it. Do you want to do, well, he gets 2 successes. Go ahead and roll your opposition to that and see if you dodge out of the way. Daring plus might.
Give me a second. Okay, that's a good one for me, so...
Yeah, everything with might for you is good.
Yeah.
Great, you're able to avoid his attack and dodge past his leg. And that's our first round. So now let's go to the second round, and it's your turn to attack.
So again, I shall use one momentum.
Okay.
Make use of these. And I shall 3 dice, and that's going to move back down to 12, so...
And are you just, what are you doing? Are you actually just pounding him in the face, or what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to go for an uppercut, which is probably like a particular type of uppercut from one side, which is probably one of the things Zach showed me.
Okay. I'm going to spend another 2 momentum, or sorry, threat, to help him defend. And let's see if he can do it. Well, you still win. So go ahead and roll your combat. So you win the opposed roll because you have more successes than he has. And you have 1 momentum gain from that, Patterson. So you can use your momentum again to buy more combat dice. You're going to start with a base number of 2 d6s for combat, so you can buy more with momentum.
So I'll just use the 1, which gives me a total of 3, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I add up to that.
How we got? Okay, the 4s are nothing. The 1 is 1, so you've done 1 damage.
Huh.
So you've got a total of 5 damage done to him now. And then he's going to kind of absorb that, and he's a little woozy on his legs, so I'm going to do another 2 points of threat to beef up his attack. But because he's been hit and damaged, I'm going to raise his DC up to 2. Because he's a little bit, dizzy from the hard hits he's taken from you. And so here's his attack. He's going to try and slam you. Wow, and I really screwed up there with a complication. Go ahead and do your opposing roll to defend Patterson, and we'll compare. He did get 2 successes, but he's got a complication. Let's see how you do for your opposition roll. So daring and might, Patterson?
Yep.
And you just have a DC of 1 because you're not hurt. Whereas he had a DC of 2. Huzzah! So yeah, and with the complication, not only do you dodge his attack, but you manage to get him in a chokehold, and you're able to squeeze his neck until he passes out unconscious. And the crowd goes wild. Ah! And the place goes crazy because they didn't know who you were, and this guy you were fighting is a well-known fellow. And the place just goes crazy because people have lost a lot of money because almost no one bet on you. And the crowd is crazy. And yeah. Congratulations. The referee pushes you off the unconscious body of Jar, and his friends come running out to try and revive him. The referee holds your arms up in victory. There's a great roar from the crowd.
Adrian!
Nice.
Exactly. Well done. You are victorious in the fight pits of Zodanga.
Yeah, I'll come off.
Okay.
I love that. Love that movie.
Yeah.
So, Zax, you recoup your bet, and the odds were 4-1. So instead of the 800, you get, what is that? 4 times 8. What is that? 32?
Yeah.
3,200? 3,200 gold pieces Zax now has. Nice.
Nice.
You'll still have to sell your droids to get enough for a speeder. Just kidding.
That's
All right.
some very realistic growling going on there.
Yep. So, okay. So, what do you guys... Tanja, how do you congratulate your sleigh that just kicked ass in the pit?
Probably kick me.
Okay. Well, if no one's talking, let's move on. What's next?
Okay.
I don't know where people went for a second there, but so I had a plan actually about how we might get out, which I was going to discuss with Zax, well, everyone really. I thought if we went and bought a flyer or 2, I can't remember how many the larger flyers can take, but I thought if we had it ready on the roof of one of the buildings, somewhere around near the Human Quarter or Darkness Rise, we could, after we've bust them out of Taft's place, we can, let me use an arrow, we could kind of, they're probably going to be expecting us to go to the dry docks or the docks, but if we headed out sort of this way, and say on this little roof here at 25 feet, or this one here at 15 feet, and I could bounce everyone up to the roof, or we could climb up there and get away that way, or something like that, like in one of the books.
I like that idea.
But we'd need one person to bring them, like kind of bring them over while we were doing the business. We've got a good flight pilot, but then they could still join the fight just after they've dropped them off, but then they might need to guard them.
So get 3,200. I don't.
Whoa, Dane, you're really breaking up.
What is? Ooh.
You're breaking up and going like really. We can't even tell what you're saying. Maybe type it into Roll20's dialogue box. Maybe. Yeah. What's going on with your mic? I think that's Dane. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like really weird. Super garbled.
So I sort of nudge Tanja and say, "See, I told you I'd do it, Kay."
Yeah, a one-man flyer is going to be at least 10,000, and that's for a used one that's really in shit shape. To get one that's going to be able to fit 5 or 6 more, it's going to be obviously a lot more than that. So you're looking more at the 70,000 gold pieces and up, or something that's flight worthy. And so right now it's about mid-evening by all this time has kind of gone on.
I'm going to suggest that that we all go to the Penith emissary.
The Tarth,
Tarth.
Tarth, embassy.
Yeah. At least there we can
Okay.
rest and.
Yeah, we need private discuss steps and that.
We can understand you, but you're still breaking up a lot.
Yeah.
But keep going. We can understand you.
It will be admit all of us.
Yes.
Okay.
You sound like a
All
sad robot, Dane.
I was thinking like a
Sad robot.
I'm thinking like the robot from like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and log word and go back. I'll fault 20 for now.
Okay. So everyone's cool with going to the Tarth embassy? It's about 8 o'clock at night.
Sure, we could go.
Okay. So as Pamela leads you folks, you guys actually you have enough money to hire a taxi kind of flyer to fly you up over to Tarth embassy, and as you land on the roof of the embassy, the guards are there, and they kind of who goes there kind of interrogates you folks a little bit, but Pamela takes them aside. She shows them her credentials that she'd taken off her harness, and then obviously they all bow and give her quite a lot of deference and respect. And you are led into the embassy and shown a suite of quarters that for all of you, and Pamela is given adjacent quarters. Tanza has her own quarters as a female, and you're all together in the same hallway. The major domo of the embassy comes up and instructs that food and baths and everything are prepared, and offers you all like new clothing. Also offers, because of Pamela, offers you Zodangan metal for all of your harnesses. Now most of you had taken off your metal and had plain harnesses, which are really unusual as well. So if you'd like to do that, they have made those materials available to you. If you have any questions of the major domo, you may ask them. Otherwise, we're assuming that you're eating, you're bathing, and you're lying down for a rest.
Yep.
So this is the embassy of
Tarth, which is on the right by Lux Rise. So don't forget, Pamela is actually a diplomat of the city-state of Tarth. The same city that Thuvia originated from and is a princess of.
They quite like John Carter, don't they?
They do indeed.
This is a long shot, and I don't know if it's too much of a long shot, or how risky it would be. If I revealed what I was and said that actually I'm in a roundabout kind of way, it's a bit of a blag, but I'm sort of kin to John Carter, which I kind of am in the sense that I'm from the same planet, and etc. etc. Do you think I could blag it that we could loan a flyer if I say, look, we've got this really noble cause and the warlord would totally approve?
Well, I don't. Okay, you can definitely try, but here's the thing: is Pamela is their diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
You guys keep missing that point that they've given you full range of the embassy because of Pamela. She is like an ambassador of Tarth, and she's in the embassy. She's kind of high
Well,
up, right?
that's what I was about to say. If they had, I mean, I was considering that, and I thought that alone may be enough. But if they had any doubt if that was slightly too bigger, then she could kind of totally back me up, and
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Like maybe if you even mention, America is, John Carter being an American was, America was totally our allies to where I'm from, on Barsoom.
Then again, if she's I misunderstood. Like I knew she was kind of in the embassy, but I didn't realize she was like top flight. So maybe that's not even necessary. Or we can see.
Okay. I see. I'm just reading what Zax has written here too. Yeah, Zax, you don't have to worry. You guys took a cab flyer from the Red District to the embassy. You made it there safely. You're in the air, so you flew to the embassy, so there's no need to worry on that regard. As for the embassy, Pamela, it's really going to be in some ways your call because you're quite high up. But if you guys are having dinner and the actual ambassador comes down to dinner, and if you're putting forward this plan, he's going to say, I can't give you an official flyer. It would take us a few days to modify a flyer that we have to take off all evidence of it being a Tarthian fire. We have to be very careful. We're an embassy here, so any clandestine operation, you would have to make sure that there's no evidence that Tarth would be implicated at all. It's his only concern.
Sounds good. Sounds fair.
Or no, actually it doesn't matter.
But he says that doesn't. He says if you really want a flyer, you can go to a public hangar and rent one. But please don't connect it to the embassy at all. The last thing Zodanga we need is a war with Zodanga.
If he's concerned about that, he could I could indicate roughly how much finances we do have, and if they have a little bit of a reserve, they could top it up, and we could pay them back later, and buy or hire one that's got nothing to do with them. So then they would certainly not be implicated.
Okay, and what's your intention with buying a flyer? Are you guys just going to jump in the flyer and go to Helium?
Yeah, and basically because we'll be pursued by criminals because we'll have found out information regarding a conspiracy, and we can't divulge too much so far, but it involves one of the warlords' peoples. It also involves some possible yellow men and black men. So like there's like a whole bunch of people that are being dishonored from various nations. So,
and then what's the goal? So you guys would get a flyer and fly to Helium and divulge all this to the warlord, and then what would you like to see happen after that?
Well, if this
because that would take days to fly to Helium, explain yourself to the warlord, and then it would take days to come back to Tarth. Did you want a fleet to come back with you from Helium with the warlord's flag on the? I'm just trying to get a sense of what your goals are.
Well, we need to confirm the scientists' involvement, and that may change things. But the warlord may dispatch a small kind of group with some authority to arrest this woman, at least if she's doing some dodgy stuff, or at least get some people released.
And Zax and Pamela, what's your? I mean, you guys are in character discussing all this. What are your thoughts?
I'm like, we need to rescue those people and slaves, especially the Yellow Martian, if he's as dangerous as Chad has described him.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and
we can't wait for the warlord to make a decision if it's okay to basically come and rescue him or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yeah, you
yeah.
sound way
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
What happened to your thingy?
Not sure. Restarting Discord seems to have helped though. So yeah, so I agree that Yellow Man might be there. It sounds like some of my crew might be there, and they could help us pilot and get away. I think we're looking to save those folks and get out of Dodge.
Yeah, the Earthwoman may be there as well, and others, but it might be some of them we can take with us immediately. Some can be hidden somewhere here in the city, or even brought to the embassy on the quiet to be held until further notice.
Okay, folks, I'm going to have to jumpstart you here because we only have an hour left,
So,
if that's okay. I'm sorry,
Sorry,
go
what?
ahead, Paula.
so we're all in agreement that we're going to go and rescue the slaves, and then use an airship to escape Zodanga, right?
Yeah, and I think we could take a portion with us, but if there's too many, the ones that we can't take with us, we could have hidden somewhere in the Central Market or Darkness Rise, and then later on they could be picked up and taken to the embassy and kind of held there on the quiet so we can come back for them. And that's one way.
Okay.
Okay, so next steps. Do you want, I mean, we're running out of time. So do you mind if I just kind of fill in the blanks a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so let's say you stay overnight at the Tarth embassy because you are very fatigued. You haven't slept for over 24 hours. You're a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, during the
Right.
day you discuss your preparations. If you want to rent a flyer, it is during the day you can actually rent a flyer. You could probably have enough money to rent a flyer for the evening if that's what you wanted to do. You also have got to be aware, though, those of you who have read the books, that there are air patrols. And if you don't have the right papers, an air patrol may, board any flyer around the city, in the airspace of the city. So there is a risk to taking a flyer and using it right now. And I just want you to be aware, in Jasoomian cities, there are all city air patrols, right? So as far as your plan is to go, I'm assuming to go to the warehouse district tonight and suss it out.
Mhm.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so I'm just kind of wondering, did you want to go by foot? Did you want to rent a flyer?
I was thinking.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking by foot, because it's well, if we're in a flyer, it's just a little bit too out of the. Just will be too open.
It might be an anomaly down on the dock areas too, to be quite
Mhm.
honest, because at nighttime the dock areas tend to shut down, right?
Hmm.
So, okay, so you guys are going to go the next evening. You're rested. You have the Medal of Zodanga on you for those of you who want it. Is there anyone who just wants to keep a plain medal on their harness?
I will.
Okay. Or does anyone, I mean, you don't have to take the Zodanga medal. It's up to you folks how you dress up for this escapade.
So we're going to the warehouse district, not Half's place.
Why do you need to go to the Karst place? You don't need his money. You just got money from the pit fight.
Oh, we went. Okay. No, so we're just going to the green. Yeah.
Unless you guys want to do something else.
Oh
Car-
no, maybe I'm thinking of things I haven't voiced. So you said about papers. Could we get, as well as renting the flyer and making arrangements for somewhere to kind of hide excess people we can't take with us? Could we also could Carth arrange to have some papers forged? So like I don't know, like we're escorting Hansa back to helium for some reason or some kind of bluff on the papers. That'd be done.
If you guys don't mind, we don't really have time to. It's already 10 after 3, at least on my time. We don't have time to go and role play that out and come forth. Do you mind if we just? I'm not trying to be pushy or anything, but I think we can get this done. And I don't really, knowing how busy people are in April and May, it's going to be a long time before we can get another session going.
Yeah, I know. I just wondered if maybe you could say, yeah, that's fine, that happens, and just kind of, I don't know, if you just in case we get stopped, but if not, don't worry.
I would like to actually, because there's no reason for him to help you. You haven't gotten him information, right? Mm-hmm. He said, if you have more information, come to me.
Yep.
But he's kind of like, he's a businessman, right? And you guys have a limited amount of money. I'm going to say at this point, I'm not sure if that's really a good thing, a good idea.
Okay. So, and I suppose it would take too long to find somewhere else.
You don't need papers to fly from Zodanga to helium, right? But if you're flying a flyer at night, the Zodangan, around Zodanga, obviously you're going to get stopped by air patrol. So I really want to get us to the end of the story. So I'm just trying to fast track you guys to get you outside of the warehouse at night and go from there, if that's okay.
Yep.
And it's just, we got to get the story done, you guys. So knowing that, saying that, I am moving you all to the warehouse. And it's a great idea. And if this was an ongoing campaign, Max, I'd say let's go for it and let's role play it. But I think we're really going to try and wrap this up. But if it was an ongoing campaign, I'd definitely say let's do it. And I'd want you guys to go and roll and see if you persuade them and all that fun stuff. So you're all moved. Can you see? If you see black, then please just zoom out until you see white of some of the map there. And you should find your tokens on the lower right-hand side of the map. Can you guys all orientate yourselves okay?
Yeah.
And so it says Makor's Warehouse. Again, thank God for D&D for finding me maps. Can you just let me know if you find yourself on the map or if you need help, please?
Yep, I'm here.
Yep.
Okay, great. So you see your tokens there. Okay, so you guys are down at the docks of Zodanga, and you find that there's some folks around, not very many. It's dark. The two moons of Barsoom are overhead, but there's alleyways in between. So it's a warehouse district. There's an avenue and then old warehouses that are very, have been repurposed to be whatever their owners now want them to be. The warehouses are all about 2 stories in height, generally speaking, in this particular avenue. You can smell the water coming off the canal. It's a bit dodgy, not as clean or kept as the rest of the city. Mind you, Zodanga's not that clean anyway. What would you like to do? So you are standing, I would say, facing the building, and you can see, if you're looking, you can see where the ping is, you can see a guard standing outside this, what appears to be the main loading dock of this warehouse. And let me just clear off another area. So anyone that wants to do perception checks, please feel free to let me know and we'll roll them.
I would like to do a perception check.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and so this little area right here is another side door. So the guard's in front of the main load dock, and then there's a side door right here.
And that's empathy and reason, right?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Oh, you got a complication. Is that you, or did I not roll down? Who was that just rolled?
Wasn't that Patterson?
Is that Patterson?
One success.
No.
Okay, Pamela, were you rolling perception check?
Yeah, I am, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just wondering if my dialogue box was fucked up because I saw Patterson and not your name. It is, but that is Patterson. Okay, sewers? Question mark. What do you mean sewers, Patterson?
Are we all doing perception checks?
We'd only need a couple of you guys to do perception checks, not everybody.
Oh, okay.
The sewers thing was a question from earlier, and it was a suggestion, but again, with time, it wouldn't really have. It's fine.
If you guys wanted to go through the sewers, you can.
Maybe on the way out of it comes to it.
Okay. So Patterson had one success and a complication. So, and then Pamela had actually 2 successes. So Pamela, take an extra momentum from your extra success. The DC was 1. And Patterson, you see the guard. You see something up top on the roof of the building. You see a flash of white. But as you do so, you trip and fall over and crash into some trash cans, making quite a loud noise. Pamela, you also see the flash of white on top of the roof. And because you had you rolled a 1 critical success, you're going to see that flash of white actually looks to be a white ape, and not just one, but several.
As I've drawn attention to us anyway, I'm going to make a play of being a drunk singing, so the others can kind of disperse or do something, so their attention's just on kind of me.
Okay, now you guys actually set up your tokens where you would want them to be, because obviously I just put them there for your convenience. So we got Patterson's moved his token. And if the rest of you can roll stealth to see, now depending on what you want to do you want to be with Patterson who's being a drunk? Or do you want to kind of be in the shadows and away from him?
In the shadows.
Everybody who wants to be in the shadows, please roll a stealth check. We might go over time a little bit. Would it be possible for anybody to stay an extra 30 minutes?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, everybody roll stealth. Let's make this fast.
Okay.
Just one dice. Just one.
Stealth is going to be your reason and daring, please.
Reason and what?
Daring.
Okay.
Daring is for movement. Please roll, people. Great. Tanza, you're good. Who's next? Who came after that?
Zach's rolled 1 success.
I'm actually doing the opposite because I've already brought attention to myself, and I figure maybe I can divert attention from them. I'm sort of singing some song about please don't leave me in the Warhoon arena, and I don't know.
Okay. Pamela, did you roll?
Oh, sorry.
Daring and reason. Okay, great. So, Tanz, I'm using your first roll. So you succeeded. Zach, you had 1 success. You succeeded. Pamela succeeded and generated 1 momentum for herself.
Who has enough? Because I can't take that momentum.
You can give it to Tanza or to Patterson or Zach. I think all of them have at least 4 or 5.
Let's give it to Tanza.
Okay.
Okay. And what am I doing with it?
Just put it in your pool.
Just put it in your pool.
So you now have 3 momentum. So just go ahead and draw another momentum. Okay. So the guard is kind of looking over towards him. Roll persuasion, Patterson, see if he buys your drunken sailor bit.
So that's going to come under cunning and passion.
Cunning is for attacks, so it'll be maybe empathy and passion, please.
Empathy and passion?
Yeah.
Wait me a second.
Excellent. He totally buys it. He takes a couple steps over to you. And where's my stupid thing here? He starts laughing. Hey, friend. Perhaps you should go home.
Maybe start singing England's national anthem or something.
Yeah, son, come here. I'll gesture my hands for him to get closer.
Okay. Do you need help?
I'll Glasgow kiss him.
You're gonna what?
Glasgow kiss him. That means headbutt.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Cunning, because it's an attack, and might.
Yeah, it's good for me.
I want like a British slang dictionary.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Again, I've got 320 on my clock, so gotta. Yes, you succeed and you knock him out. He's a minion, so he slumps down onto the ground. What would you like to do with his body? Nice roll.
Hide him in a trash can.
Okay.
Big trash can.
Or just push him into behind some rubble or something.
All right. Put him on the side over here, and he is gone. The front door is now unguarded.
Zax whistles to Had and motions him to move up because Had's our lockpick and to check out the door.
Okay. Chad comes up. And Chad says, cover me. I think Chad actually has the thieves' tools, not Had, because Chad is the spy.
Oh,
and
sorry.
so Chad's going to work with the lock. And with a click, he looks up at you, Zax, gives you a smile and a thumbs up. And he slowly opens the door.
Zax pulls out his pistol.
Okay. Okay, and what's revealed to you inside are some crates. Seems like a warehouse with some goods piled up here and there. It is lit by radium bulbs, but dimly lit. They've got it on some kind of nighttime setting. And yeah, let's see here. There seems to be the front quarter that you guys are standing at. So there's, again, piled of good. Right ahead of you, though, it seems an odd thing, is an area that has, it looks like newly installed walls. And see where that black line ends? That's what I mean. That seems, everything else in the warehouse is old and seems a bit derelict and a bit suspect, right? It's an older part of town. But that black line represents something that's been newly constructed, which seems odd, and it goes right up to the ceiling. Okay, what would you guys like to do?
Let's go in and explore.
Yeah.
Now, again, you guys are breaking in, so are you guys being stealthy or are you just walking around?
Just imagining that. Do you get those shows where they bust open the lock and they bid what's inside and the guy's like... Do you get those shows?
Storage Wars?
Yeah,
Yes.
like that. I'm just imagining that.
Okay, as far as marching order, who do you guys want to lead the way?
Who's going in first?
What order do you guys want to go in? Who's going to lead the way?
Well, Chad's got our thieves' tools, and we're probably going to run into other, docks or locks to be checked out. So I'd say Chad.
Okay. Okay.
I'll go in with him. Right behind him.
So you guys are all sticking together, hey? Okay, so right here, where the ping is, that is a stairwell that leads up to the second floor. Okay? Everyone see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Chad's being really stealthy and careful, and he's motioning everyone to be quiet as they're going through. And He takes you up to this northern. He peeks around the corner of this door. The wall, and he motions you guys that it's clear. And there is a doorway right here. Let me draw it for you. Draw objects. Right. Okay, there's a doorway right there in blue. Can you all see that?
Yep.
I think someone else needs to be the lead because he's now an NPC, and I don't want to make all these decisions for you folks.
I would go for it. Or
Go ahead.
up the stairs. Or to the blue.
I think we should check out the blue. So I'll quietly walk over with Patterson. And can we hear anything behind the door?
Roll perception.
Oh, I jammed there. I rolled twice for some reason.
I got a success and a complication.
Shall I re-roll because it kind of froze and then rolled twice, so maybe I should.
You've already rolled twice. We're going to take your first roll, 0 successes. Okay. Zax, you did succeed, but you have a complication. Okay, so you hear that noise.
No. Heard this before.
But as you're leaning in and you're trying to get a better sense of it, you touch the door and you get zapped and thrown back 10 feet away from the door. And you're lying prone and you're somewhat stunned.
Okay.
Now, Chad comes up and he looks at the door and he's going, that is one fancy lock. He said, that's a piece of technology right there. He goes, no one touch it. This is beyond my skills, he says. He goes, but that sound's not coming from the door. That sound's coming from inside. There's something inside, something very large, something that's making that humming noise, some kind of mechanism. And then he goes and he helps Zax up, and he brings you. Do you recognize this? As he tries to snap you out of it, and he's whispering, "Do you recognize this hum, Zax? You're the mechanic. Want to do a mechanic knowledge check, Zax?" Yep. And he goes, "For God's sakes, don't touch the door again." So that's going to be reason and probably passion for your knowledge base.
It's really hypnotic sound.
It is.
Yeah, actually kind of soothing.
That's what you want on a night out.
Camilla, can you at the same time do a perception check?
Sure.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god, we're never gonna get done this damn story. Camilla, you hear voices coming from the far end of the warehouse over here.
Okay.
You hear a bunch of male voices, a lot of them. Okay. Zax, yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do for that. I'm going to take 2 threat instead, okay? Instead of doing another complication.
Okay.
2, Victor. Okay. What do you guys want to do? So you hear noises coming from the south end of the building, where the ping is.
Mm-hmm.
You have the stairs right beside you going up to the second level.
I think we need to go up to the second level.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So as you climb the stairs, again, everyone do stealth check to see if you climb up silently, please. DC of 1. So everyone's rolling that. And so stealth is going to be reason plus daring. Por favor.
Right.
Go ahead and roll. DC of 1, stealth check. Oh, nicely done. Zax, what's going on with you? Tanza, did you roll?
Shit.
No, I didn't roll.
Okay, I need you to roll stealth as well, please. So that's, again, reason plus daring. DC of 1, please. Camilla's good. Patterson's not only good, Patterson gains a momentum. Tanza, you're good and you gain a momentum as well. And Zax trips and falls, banging against the wall. And let me clear off some what you see. You guys come up the stairs with, who wants to go first?
I will.
Go. All right, after you.
After you.
Okay.
I will go. I will go.
Okay, Pamilla's gonna be in front. She gives Zax a dirty look as she rises up to the second floor of the building. So as you rise up to that second floor over there where Pamela is, see you guys? You come up to the stairs and you quietly peek up as you're climbing the stairs and you see another room, again with goods piled up, but this time you can see that the goods are higher quality, much more organized. There's crates and everything around. And you also see a room with a door right there. And make sure you guys can see it all. You can see it all. Everybody see everything? And Chad and Had are going to kind of think, well, that noise from Zax has kind of made things, they're kind of worried. And so they kind of peek up and let's say, Pamela, you tell them to keep guard on the stairs if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got Patterson, Tanza, Pamela, and Zax going up the stairs to investigate this second floor area. And you see a smaller room with a door to your left on the west side. Let's pick one of you to do a perception check, please.
I'll do it.
Okay. One success. Okay, you hear two voices in that room, a female and a male's voice, talking and discussing like some kind of timetable, how they need more subjects to charge the device, that you don't have enough crystals charged up yet, that the client's going to be really angry if we don't get more crystals charged up for the shipping date, and that the female voice is chastising the male voice. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't know about you, old boy, but that's enough for me.
We could just go in and knock.
They're blocks off.
What are you guys doing?
Any other ideas?
Well, it sounds like that if that is the scientist that's connected to these two, it sounds like my suspicions were correct. They are using them for vile experiments. I won't stand for that. I don't know about you.
I think we just go in and deal with this head on.
Demand an answer.
I go to the door and knock on it.
Very polite. Hello.
Such a lady.
Are you knocking on it or are you kicking it down and rushing in?
No, I want to knock on it, but I'll have my gun out. Or no, sorry, my rapier.
Well, you do have a radium pistol.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll have that pistol.
You get your pistol out.
Mhm.
All of a sudden it goes silent in the office. And the man's voice goes, "Who's there?"
We need to talk to you.
"Who the hell are you?"
Did they open the
Zodanga
door?
warehouse. Oh, sorry.
Have they opened up the door or not?
They
Wondering.
don't open up the door.
Okay.
In fact, from inside you hear a whistle blow. And I can't whistle very well.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna kick the freaking door down and bust in.
Okay, roll your might. Oh, actually, let's roll. Let's do initiative.
Okay.
Let's do initiative.
Initiative.
Gosh, it's been a while since we've done initiative, hasn't it? Da-da-da-da. Does anyone remember how we do initiative?
Nope.
Well, the initiative's not really part of
No,
the
we
momentum.
don't. We don't have to do. That's right. It's going to be the player's turn first, and then the monster's turn. Thank you, Dane. Too many gaming systems, too little time. I'm still in Vampire the Masquerade head. So as far as just want to roll these guys, see how they do. Okay, so you guys can go first since these guys didn't roll so great. You can have the player's turn first. So Patterson, you want to run up and kick
Patterson's
down the
going
door?
first.
Yeah, I just busted in, right?
Okay, go ahead
so
and
I'm
do
going-
like a cunning might to see if you can kick down that door.
Is this where I'm going?
Yeah.
Cool. The thing in my go.
Cunning and might DC of 2 to kick down the door, please. 2 successes. Congratulations. You click down the door and let me reveal what you see. You see a makeshift office / living quarters. You see a man, a male Martian warrior. You also see, let me grab her. You find the beautiful Martian lady that had bought you folks. Congratulations, you found her. There she is. They both have guns and their weapons drawn and they're ready for you. So I am going to use 2 points of threat to steal the initiative from you guys.
Okay.
And I'm going to have the dude take a shot at the first thing that comes in the door, which would be Patterson. Delete. So that is going to be a range shot using the pistol. So that is cunning and reason. And correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone, whatever, thinks I'm getting it wrong. Cunning and reason. And he's got, what does he have? Cunning and reason is 12 for him as his target number. And it's going to be relatively easy. DC of 1 since you're right there and there's lots of light. And yeah, he's got 2 successes. Do you want to go ahead and roll your opposition, Patterson? That's going to be daring and reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend Reach my flips it on that as well. The momentum.
Okay. How many d20s are you buying?
Just the one.
Okay. Right on, so we have a tie. Oh goodness, what happens when we have a tie?
Patterson wins.
Nothing happens. Right. Yeah, so you're able to dodge, and the bullet doesn't strike, although it pings right past your ear into the wall. So that's Patterson's turn, the man's turn. It goes back to the players. Who wants to go next from the players?
I'll go next.
Huzzah! What are you doing?
Is he blocking the way?
Patterson's in your way.
Okay.
Although I probably just moved. No, sorry, I won't sort of meta, but
Well, you just kicked down the door, and
Yeah.
that was it. And then we moved to the other guy's turn. So you're
just-
kind of stuck where you are.
So I'm gonna move
just
back
imagining-
for a bit,
yeah, I was just imagining.
and then prepare my pistol.
So you're
That'll be my turn.
You're backing up and you got your pistol out. And are
Yeah.
you okay? You're holding it in case anyone comes out. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Tanza or Zax?
I come in behind with my swords and I go for the man. I go for the woman to try and engage her in combat.
Well, you can't get past Patterson. He's blocking the doorway.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
so what kind of actions are available to me?
Well, you could try and shoot past him, which would increase the difficulty. If you want to use a pistol, you could take
Okay,
a
I'll try and
dagger
do that.
and throw a dagger at them. But again, you're going to have a DC of 2 then because you've got his body, so you want to avoid hitting him, right?
Yeah.
Or I can't really.
What would you like to do?
I'll try and I'll use my radium thing and try and shoot past them.
Okay, so you whip out your pistol and you aim for the man or for the woman. If you aim for the woman, I'm going to increase the difficulty even a little bit more because you're going to have to shoot for two people essentially, right? When you look at line of sight.
Yeah.
So you're just going to try not to hit Patterson, I guess.
Aim for the eyepiece.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. That's going to be cunning and reason for a ranged weapon
Okay.
attack. And
Hang
you've
on.
got a DC of 2.
Cunning and
Reason.
reason, that's 11. All right, 2 d20s.
Yep, if you want, or you can use your momentum. Okay, you've rolled it, so we'll keep it that way. You got 1 success, so you miss. I'm not
Okay.
even going to have them try and dodge because we got to go fast because we're probably not going to get this done. Damn it. Okay, Zax.
Seeing the bottleneck at the door, I've got my pistol out. I'm going to grab a dagger in the other hand, and I'm moving back to a position where I can either shoot somebody coming out the door if they make it through my 3 comrades, or shoot anybody coming up the stairs if we're getting ambushed.
Okay, and you can actually hear downstairs that there's a racket and it sounds like there's combat going on, and down the stairs with Chad and Had, so they won't be able to help you guys. And as all that happens, crashing through, there's a skylight in this top or second floor, and crashing through the skylight are 2 white apes that come crashing down, and it is now the adversary's turn. Do you see them there? And one jumps up. The first one's going to come and attack you, Zax. It is a mighty beast. Let's see. It will go with just an unarmed strike, obviously, because it's a ape. So he's going to use cunning and might, because as white apes have the ability to use might as an attack. So he's got.
Can I? Would you class these 2 creatures as their minions?
These are not minions. There's minions. These are actual monsters. So there's villains, which would be the woman. There is monsters, which would be the white ape, and minions would be the guards. That's why you're able to take out that guard with 1 damage point, because you can take them out. They don't have much stress or health.
Yeah, I noticed that. Also, I've got the edge cutting down. I was just being a bit cheeky there. seeing if I could.
No, like these things are statted up in the bestiary and in the module. They actually do have a health, health level.
I just wasn't taking it. Yeah, that's a much more specific use of the term. Anyway, carry on.
Wow! Look at that. No success. I won't even make you dodge because you've obviously he jumped through. He's disorientated and leans for you, Zax, and you're able to not get hit. And then the other fellow is going to run up and attack you too. Sorry, but you're the nearest closest person. And he's going to roll. And 2 successes. So that's enough. 1 to hit and 1 as a momentum. I'm going to spend that momentum and add or threat in the case of the Dungeon Master. And I'm going to roll 3 d6s for combat dice instead of the usual 2.